This is one of the most conflicting teams I've used in 2K up to this point. They're one of those teams that as I'm scrolling through the selections, I'm like, yeah, they were tons of fun to use, but do I really want the burden of ever having to use them again? I think that's the most adequate way I can describe the 2008 Hornets, and after I got done using them, I'll be honest, I was kinda left scratching my head as to why 2K even bothered to put them in the game. Actually, I know exactly why they put them in the game, he's just the only reason. As you can probably guess, it's Chris Paul. Jog your memory to about 10 years ago before Paul was dressing up in tight pants and cowboy hats, and he was having arguably his best season in the NBA. It was such a good season, in fact, it's popular opinion that he was actually robbed of an MVP in favor of Kobe Bryant. Of course, like anything, that's up for debate, but there is no debating that this was one of Paul's best teams, period. There wasn't that many eye-popping names on the roster, but they still managed to go 56-26, rank 5th in defense and 7th in offense, and almost knock off the defending champion San Antonio Spurs in a 7-game series. Unfortunately, in 2K, you're gonna have a very hard time trying to recreate this greatness because there's only a 7-man rotation before you start running into 2K generics. It's the problem that I'm getting tired of repeating myself about in this series because this same thing ruins the potential and popularity of a lot of teams this game has that probably could have been very useful. The problem affects every team differently, but the specific challenge it poses to New Orleans is that you're stuck trying to win a game with your 6-foot point guard whose best attribute is probably passing. Yes, he is an amazing scorer, but clearly his court vision could win you some games, and when you're limited to 1 or maybe 2 other consistent scoring options outside of him, things get tight really quickly. Funny enough, that's actually why I accepted this match against the 16 Warriors. As soon as they pulled up on the screen, I figured I was probably outgunned, but I just wanted to see if I could humiliate somebody by beating them with this inferior squad. But don't get me wrong, the Hornets are far from trash. Meet David West, who you're gonna see a lot of in this video. David West in his prime was actually a star-level power forward who had a good post-up game and a knockdown mid-range jumper. As you've probably seen in this video, most of my assists with Paul came from finding a wide-open West who has a really easy release to time. It's really important that you acknowledge West if you want to use the Hornets, because I have a feeling that if you're a younger fan, you'll scroll right past this team because the only face you're going to recognize is Chris Paul. In case you needed the memo, I just gave it to you. David West is your second star scoring option. Put him in pick and pop situations, post up the defender, this guy is going to get you buckets. Your next consistent scoring option you'll have to distribute to is Peja Stojakovic. You may recognize him from my video with the Kings, and he's serving the exact same purpose with this team, spot up 3-point shooting. He's especially useful on the Hornets because unlike on the Kings, you have a superstar penetrating point guard that can cause the defense to collapse. When it does, you have a good chance of seeing Peja wide open in the corner ready to launch, or even if you're running the break with Paul, be aware of where he is on the floor. If you're making a hard push to the basket with him, your opponent might be late on the matchup and you can catch him open then as well. And unfortunately, as far as consistent options to distribute to with Chris Paul, that's about all you've got. Tyson Chandler is strictly there for defense and rebounding purposes, and he can catch lobs if you find the right angles, but there's no back-to-basket buckets coming with him. Mo Peterson can catch and shoot as well, but on this team, he's basically a very poor man's Peja Stojakovic. To keep up in most games, you're going to have to carry the rest of the offense with CP3, and that can be discouraging considering how NBA 2K18 plays. Paul is a small guy on the floor, and making layups is frustratingly difficult in this game, so you're going to want to choose your spots wisely and not just barrel into the lane every play, or else your best scorer is going to go cold. In this gameplay against the Warriors, I actually didn't use Chris Paul that much because I was eating this guy up with David West, but in some other recordings I have, like I may have showed the Celtics at the beginning, I was really doing it all with him. He's got a silky smooth jumper that works from both the 3-point line and mid-range, and that makes him the perfect point guard to involve in screens with David West. I'm just gonna assume this guy didn't know who David West was, and that's why he kept focusing all his attention on Paul, which just let me rack up the assist. My biggest piece of advice for this team is that if you wish to use them, jump on your opponent as quickly as possible. A game that's close for the whole time is going to favor your opponent because when your shooting guard and small forwards get subbed, you're going to get 2 generics and you're basically going to have to pull the offense out of anywhere you can find it. So let's break down the final play. You know, I'm very proud of myself for just keeping this game close, period, considering the odds I was faced with, but I'm pretty salty at my last minute decisions. As you can see, I was down by 2 points, and of course I wanted to penetrate with Paul to open up some other options. I did that pretty beautifully because as you see here, he played terrible defense with Klay Thompson and ended up behind me. But exactly like I did with the 08 Celtics, I started at the end. I was never planning to shoot a layup with Paul because I was 100% sure he was going to have a big presence down there, and it only takes a couple of people standing anywhere close for you to miss a layup. Because of that, I actually didn't see how wide open I was with Paul until I watched the play again. During real time, I was actually dead set on looking for a rotation that would leave one of my shooters open, but as you can tell, I probably should have taken that layup. I got an open look with Peterson, but Peterson is not Kobe and he's not about to hit a fading game-winning 3. So I pretty predictably lose to the 73-9 Warriors, but considering what I had to work with, I'm not really tripping. That's what I got for you guys today. Like I said, I don't know if I would recommend this to you as a go-to team because they are super thin. If they had some more bodies and players to work with, then I would definitely recommend it. But right now I'm just gonna say, if you just really want to use a prime Chris Paul and see what it's like to try to win a game strictly off your point guard, then the Hornets are for you. Hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications on the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys with the next team.